So this morning, going to check out the Crazy Horse Memorial. I just read this book called Empire of the Summer Moon. Fantastic. About all of the Comanche Indians, Plains Indians, but it also gets into a lot of the other characters and kind of the Wild West and that, mid to late 1800s period about just, what America was like on the frontier and the settling of the West and the Comanche Indians. It doesn't get a lot into Crazy Horse. I've just had this book recommended to me called Killing Crazy Horse by Bill O'Reilly, which sounds really good. So I don't know a lot about Crazy Horse, but fascinating just learning more about the history of the Indians and the Americans in that time period. So it should be cool. So I'm here at the Crazy Horse Memorial now and gonna go check it out. Got a little video to learn more about them. And actually, it works out really nice that it's raining and because it's a lot cooler, so Bo can just chill in the car, and it's like in the 50s, so works out nice. There's Crazy Horse. His finger pointing out on the right side. His face in the very middle. Right there is what it's gonna look like when it's done. You can see that's what it looks like right now, and that's what it's gonna look like with the horse and his whole body. They started building it in 1948. Taken a really long time, obviously, to finish it. But just watch a little video, really interesting story of the guy who did it, who started doing it. He died years ago. I think this is him right here. So it's dedicated to him and his family. They still run the organization. Here are all the portraits of the survivors of Custer's last stand of the Lakota Indians, where Crazy Horse led them in that battle. This is in 1948 when they started this memorial. These are the remaining Indians that were still alive from Custer's last stand, where Crazy Horse killed Custer. Battle of Little Bighorn, 1876. At a reunion, Black Hills of South Dakota.
People thought all he was going to do was paint the mountain because he was glad Bruce didn't ask for a second coat. All this equipment. It is beautiful. 73 years we've been working on that. 73 years this month.
This is sweet. Really cool too. So on that bus tour, where we got to see the foothills of Crazy Horse, learned a lot more about Crazy Horse. It's actually really interesting, the whole history of this place, the guy who built it, a lot of really interesting stuff. So the main sculptor, his name was Korczak, some Polish orphan from Boston or something. And I think he was part of Mount Rushmore. And at one point, the Lakota Indians who wanted to do this reached out to him and talked to him about it. They found out that he had the same, his birthday was the same day that Crazy Horse died, and there were all these strange coincidences, so they convinced him to do it. So the Lakota chief named Standing Bear, him and Korczak, did an exhaustive search to find the right mountain where they were gonna carve Crazy Horse. So eventually they found one that they thought looked like the perfect size, and they didn't know this, but this mountain they happened to choose had all these material properties in it that attracted a ton of lightning. And Crazy Horse's his name in battle was like lightning or something like that, and this mountain gets struck by lightning all the time, which is pretty weird. Also, because of some properties in this certain mountain, it is rusted and turned red over time, like the color of the red man, the Indian, the Crazy Horse's skin, which is also crazy because none of the surrounding mountains are red, but you look at Crazy Horse and it's red. Mount Rushmore is not red, so that's also a very strange coincidence. So you can see the red there. There's another random mountain that's not red. I was thinking it's pretty weird how long this is taking. I don't know what these guys are doing. Just, why is it taking so long? Are they just really, are they like the Department of Transportation? They just take forever to do their job. But he explained that it was actually makes a lot of, there's a lot of reasons that stall the progress. The weather, if it's, you know, because there's so much lightning, they can't work. If it's lightning up there, that stops them a lot. They actually can get more work done in the summer than they do in the winter. Another reason is that there's been some difficulties with the mountain, and the original plan for the carving has caused them to have to change their plans. And at one point, something with the finger, they was going to fall off because of a fault in the mountain. The engineers discovered, so they had to kind of slightly redo the design so the finger would be resting on the horse's mane, I believe. Apparently, that took 18 months. And this is a much more ambitious project than something like Mount Rushmore or Stone Mountain, for example, which is just carved into one side of the mountain. This is literally a 3-sided mountain project, which is, you know, they're carving on 3 different sides. And it's quite ambitious. I mean, Mount Rushmore took 17 years, and it's still technically not done because apparently, I didn't know this either, but they were all supposed to be wearing clothes and jackets, and apparently only one of them has that. I haven't been to Mount Rushmore yet, so I haven't seen it. So mountain projects take a really long time. I mean, they've got a crew up there, 16-person crew that works Monday through Friday, every week, year round. So I guess it's just how long it takes, you know. And one of the things that Korczak said at the end of his life was, you know, I don't care how long it takes, just do it right, you know, go slow, do it right. And you know, that makes sense. You know, they're working up there, but they want to make sure it's done right. And this is a lot bigger than Mount Rushmore. Apparently, Crazy Horse's head is like 86 feet tall, and the tallest heads in Mount Rushmore are only 60 feet. So it's quite a bit bigger. And all of Mount Rushmore actually would be able to fit between the front of his head to Crazy Horse's back hair, which is not complete yet. So it's big. It's also interesting that they're no longer, they're using dynamite. They haven't used dynamite since 2015. They've kind of got most of the shape of it now, and so they're having to use a much more refined, you know, technology that takes longer. I don't know what they're using to chip away, but it's not dynamite. They're not exploding rocks. They don't want to. Want to make sure they do it right, and so they'll probably use dynamite again when they do like his armpit or maybe some more of his hair or the horse. But they haven't used dynamite since 2015. So check out this sweet pictures that shows how it's progressed over time since 1948. And you know, it's been moving along. They said the money's there. They have the money, and they've got a plan for the next 4 to 9 years where they're going to finish his finger, I think, and then maybe horse's mane. So, they kind of he said something else on the tour what they're going to do next, but it's been a long, slow project, but they are making progress, and you can kind of see in these pictures the lower half. You know, they're not making a lot of progress on his actual body and the fine details, but there was a lot of explosions in the last 20-30 years to really carve in the mountain into the proper shape, and so that's happening. So hopefully now we'll see more work in the coming years. Who knows, maybe by my lifetime it'll be done, but I don't know, maybe not. Might be another 80, 100, it could be another 100 years till it's done. It's also interesting that Korczak turned down 2 government loans of $10 million for this project, which, you know, back in the 40s and 50s would be a lot of money. I don't know when they were offered, and at first he was just doing it for the first 10 years, he was literally working by himself. He would climb a little ladder with 100 pounds of equipment every day and just work on this by himself. He didn't trust the government to get it done. He thought that if they accepted the grant, he has a whole vision for this whole place here, where, you know, they have a native university, all this stuff. Actually, it's a really cool facility, museum, cultural center, very big dreams for this place. And this guy's family, his children and grandchildren, are all still work here and living up his legacy. It's really neat. He had this quote I really liked that he kind of said at the end of his life. It was, "When the legends die, our dreams die. And when our dreams die, greatness dies. Never forget your dreams." It's like, man, coming from this guy, that's pretty powerful, because it's like, he's just such an ambitious thing that, you know, no government grants, did this all by himself and the Indians, like, and his family, just raising money for this thing. And it's happening. Like, you know, I don't even think the face, they didn't even start on the face until after his death, but other people, his family, just caught this dream, and it's just in the Indians too, you know, it's just been going. It's pretty cool.